That was a big three right there, man. They needed that. There was a little momentum. I know it's early in the game, but you can see they needed that for a little confidence.
Here's the freshman, Scottie Barnes. As you saw, he checked in for the first time, last time up the floor. Highest ranked recruit Leonard Hamilton's ever had. He'll launch one and connects.
In your little studio, you got to have a little laugh. You got to have a little smile.
At least we're doing games. And at least the games are being played as the freshman leans in and gets the roll. Scottie Barnes.
Higher than those. But, you know, I think of the Jimbo Fisher and Dabo back in 2014, 2016, right down to the wire those games. They were special. Right now it's been blowout city. That was Clemson versus Florida State football.
For all the disappointment that Clemson fans may have had as Barnes comes up short for 3+ and ESPN Deportes.
Tell you one thing, I got a lot of information today, Sonny. Chuck Walsh does a great job as the SID down there at Florida State. And this week has been Appreciation Week for SIDs. Doug Vance of Cosida sent me a note about it, and I couldn't echo that sentiment. You talk about especially
take a sizable lead into the break at halftime against Clemson in the rematch between these two schools. Has that? Well, no, but I think it bears repeating and pointing out that Scottie Barnes is not the normal type of guy that Leonard Hamilton gets. He has gotten highly rated recruits, but he's not normally bringing in a top 5, top 10 player the way that the Kentuckys and the Dukes are, and yet he has won over these last handful of years just as much as those teams have won. And
Hamilton, one of the all-time great coaches our sport has ever had, and maybe just as important, Sean, he's the bridge between the past minority coaches and the future minority coaches. He touches them all, and there's not a more respected guy in college basketball than Leonard Hamilton.
Carlik Jones, the last bucket for Louisville.
Florida State's got a good one, too, now.
Tough floater wouldn't go for Carlik Jones. Under 9 to go in the half. Florida State with another 3.
The element 4 and white, and also working off the ball screen action. That's the next thing that's going to determine how good of a pro he will be.
Nickelberry way off from three-point range. He's a 26% three-point shooter himself. Barnes feeling it and missed the corner 3.
After ours, Baylor is one of those teams right now that they are good in an empty gym. Well, Alabama's like that out of the SEC.
That would be helpful to play against nobody.
Absolutely it is. But even if it was a normal year, Sean, those guys, they bring energy all the time. And Louisville's energy has finally risen up like you're supposed to play the game.
And they hampered the drive by Gray. Florida State kept it. Shot clock running out. Barnes the miss. One out of 2 for David Johnson. Second team preseason All ACC in the conference media poll. Louisville was picked to finish 5th in the preseason ACC poll. Florida State 3rd behind Virginia and Duke.
Louisville doing a better job this half so far of being physical on their switch and not giving airspace on the switch.
Barnes leaned into Johnson well short.
It's just getting better and better and better.
As Florida State players typically do under Coach Hamilton. Hopravica, beautiful pass again in the easy.
Got to make shots. Yeah, that's what he's on the floor for. What a methodical job of Florida State again. Their offense is at a whole nother level now, Sean, for 3 full games.
They averaged 92 and change the last 92 and a half. And I think they threatened 90 again tonight with 5 minutes to go. 72 already on the board.
You know what? If there's a team right now that's not Gonzaga, Baylor, Iowa, Michigan that could be it, I think you're looking at it tonight because of their depth, their size. They have an offensive punch. They've got a 5-star stud right there with the basketball right now, and a mismatched guy in number 1 in white that's going to be hard to defend, like really hard to defend.
Of course, the next thing for Leonard Hamilton to accomplish, likely on his way to the Hall of Fame. Nice move there by the 5-star recruit Barnes. 25 last week. There were 16 they fell out after that loss in Miami. So Florida State's going to be in the top 20.
State 6-3 overall, 2-2 in ACC play. Every game they've played in the ACC has been close. All of them decided by 5 points or fewer. Drive to the basket and the finish there. Jordan, we hit it right away, but if people are just joining, Manny Bates is out tonight with a left ankle injury that hit him at the end of the Miami game. So we see a finish at the basket. Where are they going to miss him most? Is it going to be offense or defense?
It's going to be offensively and defensively. Defensively at the rim, being that eraser, making things difficult on Noel's drives. And right there as well, rebound. The basketball is when this team's at their best. He's off to a good start. Draw the whistle, put the pressure on the officials to blow it by an aggressive drive.
Beverly with a peek inside. It's Hayes. He's got it taken away. 10 seconds to score for Florida State. They don't need that because still more than 16 minutes to go, but it is already a record night for Florida State. Our friend Chuck Walsh, the sports information guru for the Seminoles, lets us know 50.
So many times kids have, so many times, kids have no idea what's on the clock. They just play. Sloppy.
Barnes with the hesitation dribble. Got caught under the basket, feeds Calhoun. And that is a big one as Jonathan Bear knocks one down.
They're going to go a little spurt here to go to halftime with a little confidence. Down 13 now. These next 7 minutes could dictate a whole lot about this game.
That's only the 4th made bucket of the first half for Clemson. Ngom lost it on the baseline. He went to a Nike camp in California and impressed to an extent that he got a tryout with the Raptors. They brought him in and said, at least let's give you a look. And then obviously the collective decision was spending a year in the ACC under Leonard Hamilton is a good idea for Tenor Ngom. Another triple goes down.
Hey, I look at that list here, those guys in their 70s. What about those guys in their 80s? What about giving us? You think I belong on that list old? I'm young, though, young at heart, as Mr. Sinatra used to sing.
You're in your 80s? Are you really?
I'm 81, you know that.
I didn't think you were a day over 79 and a half.
Thanks.
Calhoun from the corner.
Speakers Bureau, but they were the toughest speeches ever. Watching moms and dads putting their childs to rest is so heartbreaking. And I'll tell you, it's worn on me. And I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with raising money to help kids. So people, if you want to help me, go to dickvital.com. You can make a donation, and it goes to the V Foundation. Those kids you saw pictures of either were at my gala or their families have been at my gala over the years. And the pain and hurt never, ever goes away.
Calhoun with a chance for... Peter Sims kips one up top, but it's another missed three. Clemson now 2 of 23 from the most amazing stat. And to me, he still is the true home run champion of all time. If you were to take away all 755 home runs that he hit, he still would have been a 3,000 hit guy for his career. He would have 3,000 hits if he never hit a home run. Here's Osborne for three. That's good for Malik. Constant communication with us from the sideline in Tallahassee. But for this Florida State team, as you said, to legitimately go from unranked all the way up to the top 12, top 10, they need M.J. Walker. And he's their best player, their leading scorer, and probably the most consistent go-to guy they've got off. Well, if our society overall mirrored sports more, and it could be one of the best things about sports in the world.
The two guys bumped into each other in Koprivica and Barnes in the spin to win.
So after a flurry of threes to start, it's the Wolfpack up by 1. Just 3 minutes gone at the Tucker Center. Underberg provides some trouble for Barnes on the hedge. He recalibrates. And the long shot.
Offensively, they are executing on that front as well.
It's Beverly with a misfire. He hasn't been at full health lately either, nursing an ankle injury. So, Jordan, this is the 10th game of the year for NC State. To follow up on what you just mentioned, they have only had all of their players available. That's not to say fully healthy, just available in 3 of 10 games this year. And goal, Mike. Lean on that.
Oh, you got to hit us with that one. Okay, Mike. Okay, we're all competitors, just the same on that court.
Here's Barnes. He gives it up, and it's in.
Playing 11 guys during the whole year.
Near Sims off the mark. Rebound for Polite.
That makes your job a little bit tougher, partner, getting those line changes in.
I welcome it. It's fun. Sloppy start for the Seminoles. Back State turnovers. Alamir Dawes wants to get going. Can't do it. Good rebound by Koprivica. Barnes looking to pass, throws it away.
You got beaten to the spot inside.
Koprivica averaging 10 points a game, one of the 4 Seminole starters, averaging double figures. Raekwon Gray, the only starter, knocks them both down this time. 4 points for Sims. Tigers back within 1. Nice pass and a nice finish. Dawes is 0 for 3. He has not scored so far in the half. Barnes has a handle. We've seen it throughout the Seminoles' first 6 ball games. There's the second 3 for Wyatt.
I'm coming for you.
After non-conference plays, is Florida State the favorite in the ACC? Walker knocks down the 3.
You know,
big shot. This lead was widening. Tigers back within 7.
I'm just going to answer your question. I would say a qualified yes, but it's going to be interesting to see Scottie Barnes and how he matures, and then also how the league.
Fight Island, UFC 257, as Dustin Poirier takes on Conor McGregor in the main event. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on pay-per-view. To order the main card in English and Spanish, go to ESPNplus.com/PPV. The prelims will start at hitting 3-point shooter Anthony Polite out today with a shoulder injury, and still they are putting it to Clemson.
Well, Gray's certainly playing really well for them too, but you look right there, Koprivica's getting better and better and better.
There on the drop. That is denied by
that club. They really share the ball well. They really are a team. T for togetherness, E for effort, A for attitude, and M for mental toughness.
Peter Sims kicks one up top. And it could be one of the best things about sports and the world that we're constantly living in, Dick, is we see all of these kids with all of these diverse backgrounds all come together to fight for a common goal and form lifelong friendships. And I think we talk.
Handed it off, and the lay-in for Raekwon Gray.
Just too much height, man. It's a 7-1 guy, got you pinned on the high side. The backside help isn't there. Florida State getting anything they want, and there's not a hotter team offensively over the last 2.5 ball games than the Seminoles right now.
Averaged 92 points per game in their wins last week against NC.
Always talk about the best 2 cultures I see right now, Gonzaga and Tennessee, in terms of how they go about their day. Florida State's got a good one too now.
Tough floater wouldn't go for Carl. Go.
Good action.
And then Osborne missed the shorty. A 10-1 run. 8. Osborne an offensive rebound. Then his pass a little too hot to handle. Trey Davis kicked it out. Quinn Slazinski short-armed it from close range. Soft push, likely on his way to the Hall of Fame. Nice move there by the 5-star recruit Barnes, who couldn't finish, is to get to the Final Four. When I talked with him last night, I said I really felt bad for Leonard, for his team, because I thought they had a great chance to get to the Final Four last year and win the whole thing. But he's just, such a man of perspective. He said, we were 25 last week. They were 16. They fell out after that loss in Miami. Florida State's going to be in the top 20.
stretch. And you can easily go back and say, well, for one, Coach Keats hasn't been afforded the luxury of being fully healthy, but Markel Johnson, your go-to point guard, who was there for his entire career, you could count on for that ball security and the proper decision, along with the C.J. Bryce. That's no longer. So closing time isn't as comfortable for this squad. It's figuring out, as good as they are, how to win late.
That is such a big difference that can go overlooked perhaps from game to game.
The basketball is when this team's at their best. He's off to a good start. Draw the whistle, put the pressure on the officials to blow it by an aggressive drive.
But then coming back down the floor, same spot, same result for M.J. Walker.
For the Pack, you got to get back in transition. It's hurt you several times in this game. Off makes, off misses. The Noles are looking to run.
Danny.
Basically off his team.
And you could argue that their best player was not one of those lottery picks, the point guard Trent Forrest.
Yep. Who might have had that game-winning shot.
Alamir Dawes one-upped him.
Yep.
Tigers slowing it down here.
They'll be a little bit, they'll take opportunities to run out, but they'll be more deliberate. Florida State will look to push more.
Defended well by Baird.
Clay did not score it up to that point, and so I'm thinking he's trying to find a little bit of rhythm, might have forced that shot.
Alamir Dawes hasn't scored yet for Clemson either. Amir Sims comes up short.
And connects.
And that's why we're getting to see a kid that is no doubt about it, he will be a lottery selection. He's a one and done. I mean, Leonard makes no doubt when you talk to him, he said he's going to the NBA, a lot of money in front of him. But he's a kid learning.
Let's go to the local sports bar and let's be with all the Clemson fans, and we'll tape the reaction of when they get Zion Williamson. And it's
a different goal.
Kravitsa called for the moving screen. So that's 9 team fouls now on Florida State. Harris Newman, sloppy play.
Seniors up there, some successful guys who I don't see going away. They still got the energy, the ability, and people always say, who's going to replace Mike Krzyzewski? He's not going anywhere, man. Same with
Jimmy, to me, that seems to be just a matter of time.
Oh, absolutely. You know, he's 72 years old. We're probably 200 pages into a book of 300 pages about his career. But I think history, we will look back as Carlik Jones finally knocked Pack defense switching and his knockdown shots. And that's what Florida State has done. So they're going to have to drag now. Louisville's going to have to drag themselves out into a spot on the floor they normally don't. This defensive look on out-of-bounds under. And in that 1-3-1, they'll go man-to-man or sometimes trap. Good job of getting it out of the trap.
Florida State averaging 5 block shots per game, leading the ACC. They have 4 already tonight. Shot clock down to 7. Josh Nickelberry just off the bench. Shot clock at 2, so he's one. And it's a shot 3, their 6th of the half. This one from Scottie Barnes.
Well, they all shoot a good ball. You go back and look at Barnes' form, it's going to look just like anyone else on that Florida State team. It is smooth, it's repeatable, it's one stroke with it.
He hadn't shot it particularly well coming in. 5 for 19 for the year was Barnes prior to tonight. That's 26%.
That's his area of development, 4 and white, and also working off the ball screen action. That's the next thing that's going to determine how good of a pro he will be.
Nickelberry way off.
Is beautiful for Florida State in this game.
Looking a little bounce into that shot by Sadar Calhoun, the junior. But he made it for his first bucket of the night. He's a junior college transfer from Missouri West Plains. Leonard Hamilton praising him in our chat last night for Calhoun's defense. And that's a 3. He hasn't given them a lot of offense yet. Leonard Hamilton said he's one of those players. He's still trying to figure out where he fits in, but he made 183 threes the last 2 years in junior college.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy that can just break off and go get you a basket. Louisville's defense, they are so well schooled.
2 free throws. As a team, they've made 41 of their last 42 from the line. Trying to hold off this Louisville surge. It's a 13-point game as we approach 15 minutes to go in the first big Monday of the season. Baylor, number 2 in the country, and number 9 Kansas coming up next from Waco.
He's to remember.
They called a foul there in the follow-up activity on Malik Osborne. His second, and the team's 4th.
It's been David Johnson and Carlik Jones offensively for Louisville. Chris Mack's not going to go away from it.
Johnson has 15 to lead Louisville. Williamson, nice little pull-up for this week. Scottie Barnes dropped it in. Of course, they have more action later this week. That game you mentioned on the weekend against Clemson in Tallahassee.
Sean, there are not. And as good as they were last year, by the middle of February, we might be looking at this team again saying, wait a minute, is this the team outside the Big Four right now that is a Final Four threat? I think we're looking at it.
Williamson, tough shot.
Fantastic job when Noel's able to absorb the pressure, not be sped up, find receivers, and find the shot they want.
Hayes, the freshman from Greensboro, played for Freddie Johnson at Greensboro Day. Helms stymied by Barnes on the post. One number 4 gets past another for the.
Going to be offensively and defensively. Defensively at the rim, being that eraser, making things difficult on Noel's drives. And right there as well, rebound.
Momentary numerical advantage for the Wolfpack. It's Beverly for Funderburk, and now Helms looking to continue his hot start. The 3 is off, and Funderburk nearly.
They're going to be talking about this team is arguably the best team in this conference. It is very early. There's a lot of teams up there. I'm watching Chris Mack and Louisville play later on tonight that I love a lot. Clemson, obviously. A lot of teams, but the statement the Noles are making here is we won this conference a year ago. We have every intention of doing the same this season. Just off this half we're watching, if they can bottle it up and play like this, watch out for the Noles.
Beverly with a peek inside. It's Hayes.
Defended well by Baird.
Well, he did not score it up to that point, and so I'm thinking he's trying to find a little bit of rhythm, might have forced that shot.
Alamir Dawes hasn't scored yet for Clemson either. Amir Sims comes up short. Gets some help with Gray. Couldn't hit the shot, though.
Clemson willing to play at a much faster tempo in this second half. They're looking to push the ball up the floor.
Perhaps because they struggled against the Seminoles half-court D.
And that's
Terry. Blocked. Still 10 seconds on the shot clock, and now Barnes called for the foul.
reach in, but